Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. And on the show today, we have Levinsky from Pangea Healthcare. Levinsky is the CTO of Pangea, and they're doing wonderful things in the AI space and in billing transformation for healthcare. So, welcome to the show, Levinsky. Go ahead and please introduce yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Neil, for having me. My name is Cleiton Levinsky. I go by Levinsky, and I'm the CTO of Pangea. We're a RCM, AI-driven company. We have some other offers that we're going to talk about it, but we're mainly known for the RCM automation and AI integration.
Okay. So, it's a very interesting name. Can you talk a little bit more about the name of the company?
Definitely, yeah. So when we decided to go on this, crazy route, one of the things that is very important, like what is a good name for this company that will align with our vision. So and we thought about, the first continent on the on Earth was called Pangea. So you can see all the masses of land that were like together, and there was only one continent. And we decided, okay, so healthcare should be at least united at some point, as it was before when it started, right? So the doctors have more control over things, and we decided, okay, so what if we do Pangea as a strong name for the company that would align with the vision of unifying many areas and layers of the healthcare system. So that's why we came up with the name Pangea. And as a result, many of our products are on the same like theme, right? So we have tectonic AI, which is the tectonic for the tectonic plates, and then the friction that happens in between, those tectonic plates. That's sort of our concept of the integration with different systems and things like that. And then we're rolling out a new EHR that's called Penthalassa, and Penthalassa was the first ocean that existed. So it was like a huge ocean
Okay. Wow.
in this land surrounded by the big ocean that's called Pangea.
Oh, very interesting. Yeah. That's very innovative. And I
Yeah,
did
thank
not
you.
know about that. So I appreciate you sharing that. Very cool. So
A
what,
little geography,
when,
right?
yeah. And history.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Very interesting. So when did you start this, Levinsky, and like how long have you been doing it? What?
Yeah, so my co-founder and I, we decided to, explore healthcare a little bit and see what are some areas that we could help out, right? So we both worked for a big tech company, Accenture, and we've worked in many projects together. So we knew that we had a very good synergy working together. He's more focused on the product side as well as the business side, and mainly focused on the technology. So we decided to join forces and explore healthcare and find where exactly we can help, right? And there's obviously some personal story around it from his side, obviously, and a little bit of mine, where how can we actually do something about the whenever you go to the doctor, you're gonna see the doctor will see the patient and try to submit a payment, and there's delay, there's things wrong with the claim, all sorts of problems, right? So where can we cause an impact on this industry? And then we found out that the very sector of the healthcare that is overlooked, and there's a lot of opportunity there. So we decided about like 2 years ago that we were study this sector of the healthcare space, and that's why we decided to launch, Pangea, serving our first customer back in Virginia. Ever since we started this, it's been very successful.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
So how did you, when you launched, how did you find your first client, and what were the challenges there? If you would like to share some of that.
Definitely. Yeah. So client acquisition in the healthcare space, especially when it comes to serving small, mid, and large providers are a challenge, right? So the cycle is very slow. So our first customer came from a recommendation of a friend of mine is, that work in consultant in the healthcare space. And we decided to run a pilot back in August in which we got this it was a mid-size clinic, and they had major problems. They were operating off of a legacy system, like a very old EHR, and we were able to tap into the system, extract data, run and do our analysis to sort of understand what was the issues. And that's one of the things that we do. very thorough. We do very thorough analysis to identify where are the issues, where are they coming from, where are the pain points from the billing perspective, right? And with that, we were able to identify many things and improve their processes most of all, but also bring some automation into the pipeline where they could submit. They had a team of 15 billers, and we reduced that team to 3 billers, and we were like processing more claims, and we're able to get their average claim from $72 up to 147, something around that. So it was the boost on their revenue as well as on the operation. And we did something that it was a little bit crazy, but we decided to migrate them to a cloud-based EHR, and that worked pretty well. We did all the integration, and it was a very successful.
Okay, excellent. So you said that it was the sales cycle is a bit slow. Any specific reason?
I guess so. Providers are very resistant to change, right? And that's like the majority of them just they like to stay within the realm of the clinical world, right? So
Yeah.
they like to see the patient, they like to talk to, they like to treat people. When it comes to all the technology behind the process of looking at patient chart and all the technology around, it's a little bit too much for them in terms of
Uh-huh.
their attention, right? They don't want to spend much time there. And the resistance to change generates like this slow process of they would only, or in the majority of the cases, they would only accept a conversation, open for a conversation. They would be open for a conversation only if there's like some sort of referral of some kind. They're very
Okay.
resistant to those changes. What we are seeing out there is that the providers will get to a point where they're extremely stressed and they need change, immediate change, and that's really hard. And that's where a lot of companies would fail because they cannot deliver something, they cannot deliver value so quick. And we're talking
Uh-huh.
about, these providers that uh, are behind financially, they have
Yeah.
audit going on, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
stress. So we understand that, and we try to add incremental value. We do little things that will, and the aggregation of those little things would, obviously yield a lot of value for them. But yeah, the resistance there is very typical of any the healthcare organization. Yeah.
Got you. And even the adoption of AI, right? That's like where did you find the same challenges there? Like having them adopt AI?
Well, there's obviously a hype around AI, and with all of the great things, and also come some bad things, right? So we try to do responsible AI. We try to make sure that we're not giving too much responsibility to a LLM. We know that the LLM, and I don't think we're gonna get to a point where we have pure AGI, right? So I think we give the least amount of responsibility and we try to automate things using AI. And for the provider, as far as using AI, if there is any solution that is interacting directly with the provider or the user, usually they're fascinated by it, such as we have a AI scribe that will take in audio from a conversation that the doctor is having with a patient, and we'll try to fill out a chart for the doctor. But still, you need some sort of supervision, right? But they're
Yeah.
very welcoming to engage with AI and have AI within their systems. There's a there's the
Okay.
other part of it, which is the automation that happens behind the scenes that they don't necessarily know what's going on there, but they're much appreciative of what we're doing with AI for sure.
Got it. Makes sure. Makes sense. So this was the first client was through reference, you said, or was it through like you said it was through reference, right? The first client.
Yes,
So
exactly. We have some of our clients that came through. We didn't do any sort of have a sales pipeline in place yet, and
okay.
because we didn't needed that for the moment because we have that they these customers they organically
Yeah.
came into our radar. But this last customer that we have is a large group and also came from recommendation. It's funny because the one of the executives of the organization, we met with him about 3 years before where we had the idea, but we didn't have a product, right? So and he was like,
Okay.
this is great, fantastic guys, but you don't have a product yet, so I don't know how to help. but he
Yeah.
kept us, on his, mind. And one day he reached out, he's like, "Hey guys,
That's
how's that
nice.
plant going?" And then that's where we reconnected, and then we were able to close a great partnership in which we're, you know, full steam ahead, and yeah, doing
Nice.
yeah.
Very good. Glad to hear that. Speaking of pipeline and sales, what are your plans for the rest of the year and for scaling?
So definitely, we wanted to focus more on mid-size to large groups, like the one that we're serving right now, which is like 14 hospitals and 9 clinics, and it's a huge volume. Obviously, in terms of volume as to like compute processing things like that, I'm used to work with much large volumes. I worked for in the banking industry for many years in a
Okay.
clearinghouses, and we're talking about like really huge
Yeah.
volumes, right? So you have to have
Okay.
very robust and resilient systems. But in this case, we're looking for large and mid-sized organizations,
Okay.
and we got some seed fund, and we're going into Series A very soon. And
Okay.
we're also doing some sort of bridge funding until Series A, which I can talk more a little more about it. But the roadmap for the product. Oh, you actually asked for the sales pipeline, right?
Yeah. Scale.
So
Yeah. What are your plans to scale?
scaling, when it comes to the actual technology supporting, all the infrastructure supporting our platform, we're building everything, in Kubernetes, and we
Okay.
have a multi-tenant system, isolated system. We're compliant with HIPAA and GDPR and all the other basic institutions. But we have a system that is multi-tenant, so we can in fact
Okay.
scale, and it's elastic, right? So we can spin up an environment, onboard customers, and we have all the infrastructure in place that is multi-tenant, that was built on that concept. And
Okay.
we have some great engineers that are working with us and join the team as
Okay.
well. So we have people
Yeah.
from Microsoft, Capital One, and we're
Got you.
building something really robust here, and the
Right.
scaling is not a problem for us at all.
No, so that is the technology scaling. That makes sense.
Yes,
I meant about your pipeline,
for sales,
scaling your sales in your customer base.
definitely. Yeah, definitely is something that we've been really. It's right now. It's within this group that we're working with. They have a lot of influence on other groups. So the CEO is a city member
Okay.
of a larger network of these organizations. So the idea is that we're going to expand, and
Got you.
and the idea is to target organizations that are similar in terms of their processes, their technology stack, because then we can just simply
Got you.
replicate, our implementation and any sort of migration that needs to happen. But so
Okay.
because we partner with this organization, we're going to have access to other networks directly. So we're talking about, potentially bringing in 9 to 13 other organizations that are in a similar size. So down here in Florida, we have big
Okay.
groups like Tampa Baycare, and those are the larger groups that would like to target and yeah, have influence over. Yes.
Got you. Got you. Cool. Very nice. Any other challenges that you would like to share that you faced in your journey?
Well, definitely there are a lot of aspects, right? So there's the resistant to the new to technology, and
Yeah.
there's also the challenges within the technology space that is incredible. For instance, we one of the reasons that we had to go and roll out our own EHR, it's because all these systems are legacy systems, very very difficult to integrate, and the
Mm-hmm.
leadership of these organizations, they're very slow to change as well. And even
Got
if
you.
they decided to equip their systems or modernize their systems, there are so many technical debt that they need to address, which would
Uh,
put them on, a very slow process of innovation. So for us, we had a lot of challenges, integrating, but we use technology to do data extraction and processing, even though for these systems that are like almost completely closed. So the technology was a very, challenge, a huge challenge for us, but we are overcoming that little by little. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Excellent. So thank you for sharing that. If people were to find you, Levinsky, like how do they reach out to you?
Well, you can go to pangeahealthcare.com for Pangea. There you can see, our products, our offerings, and if you have any questions, there's a way to get in touch with us there. And also, I'm on LinkedIn, Cleiton Levinsky. So probably going to share that with you as well. But yeah, you can hit me up, and if you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer any questions to help understand
Okay.
how can we be of any help.
Levinsky, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for your insights and interesting story, and especially the name. I wish you all the best and thanks for joining the channel.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Neil.
Thank you everyone for joining and tuning in. Please like and subscribe for more contents like this. Thank you.